Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. It's me, Big Mike, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Coffee with Big Mike, the series where I sit down for a chat with some rather interesting and amazing people over a nice cup of coffee. And this is a special episode of Coffee with Big Mike, fam. In this episode, I plan to sit down with one of the game devs that are going to have games at this year's Sage, or Sonic Amateur Game Expo. And joining us today is our very first fan game developer to be featured on this show. And this just so happens to be the developer of Beavis and Butt-Head in Quest to Score. Welcome, Quest. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, everybody. I go by the name of Quest. I enjoy Beavis and Butt-Head, and I'm happy to be here.
It is such a pleasure to have you here, fam. Before we started recording, we was just talking about how the very first time I came across your game was in the 2023 trailer for Sage, and I saw Beavis and Butt-Head in Quest to Score, and my jaw dropped because I have never imagined my love of Sage and my love of Beavis and Butt-Head will cross over. So it's a pleasure to finally meet you and to finally talk to you.
Yeah.
Now, you and we've been talking for quite a while in the DN here on Discord and in this call, but can you tell our audience a bit about yourself?
Well, I love retro gaming, I love collecting things, and I'm autistic.
What inspired you to get into game development?
Well, I've always been fascinated by how retro technology worked. Like, for example, you look at PS1, you're like, how does that work? And you look at a Wii, and you're like, how the fuck does that work? So when I eventually learned that I could use the Godot engine on my 2017 Chromebook, I immediately decided to just make a game, and so I'd make it on something that I was happy about, and that I felt proud of, you know?
Is Beavis and Butt-Head in Quest to Score your first game?
Yes, actually it is.
And is there anything that inspired Beavis and Butt-Head in Quest to Score specifically?
Like, are we talking gameplay-wise or, graphic-wise?
I would say all of the above.
Well, in terms of gameplay-wise, it's a platformer, kind of like a Mario sort of platformer, but where you can kill enemies, throw objects, but it's more of a collectathon.
Previously, we talked behind the scenes about some of your collections, and you have a vast collection, fam. So I do have to wonder if the collectathon is inspired by real life.
Actually, partially, it is. So, in the game, there are VHS tapes of Beavis and Butt-Head that you can collect in the levels. And the reason I'm doing that is because I personally want to collect all the releases, like the common PAL region ones, the rare ones which were only available in Australia from 1999 to 2002, and I figured why not throw it in the game to make it a collectible for fans to find.
Now, for our fans listening at home who may be interested in Beavis and Butt-Head, what do you think is the rarest piece of your Beavis and Butt-Head collection?
Well, I don't have anything rare per se. I have a few t-shirts and socks. So I would personally have to go with my VHS tapes. I only have 2 of them. I managed to get one of them, which is There Goes the Neighborhood, for about $27 in New Zealand dollars. And then I got Work Sucks for 18.
Oh, well, what Work Sucks was an amazing one. I used to have that one myself. The selection of episodes in that one are some of the best, I think, or some of the best.
Exactly.
I want to ask you kind of a 2-part question. Now, first, what challenges have you faced as a game developer?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That is literally a very tough question. But if I had to say hardest things I've had to face as a game developer, I would say critical reception. I remember when I used to post updates of my game on the Beavis and Butt-Head subreddit, most people either didn't care or didn't give a shit. Some people thought I was trying to make money off of the show, which I still do not intend on doing. Some people supported me, which I'm still thankful for, but then some are just basically told me to just try and make something original, you know?
And that's a very common criticism that many fan game devs hear. And that's something that they do have to deal with from time to time. Oh, well, if you're going to put all this energy into making a game, why don't you just make your own unique game? And now, to be fair, fan gaming is often a bridge for developers to get into original games. Many people start off making fan games, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And this actually brings me to my second part of this question. Fan game developers have some unique challenges that, indie developers and your AAA developers don't have to worry about, such as their legal issues, there's reception from the fan community. And I just want to know, have you dealt with any of these unique issues?
I've dealt with fan reception, because like I said, people would give me criticism and just tell me to make something original. But then there's some people who either were like, oh, cool. And they're like, you know? Like, I will admit, like, I've had many Beavis and Butt-Head fans tell me that my game is going to be good. Like, because there's this one Discord I'm in where it's just all Beavis and Butt-Head fans. They literally have an entire section in their server for me to just post updates on my game, like whether it's new artwork or new levels, that sort of thing.
Now, I want to shift gears a bit. I want to talk about Sage. So, Sage 23 was your first Sage, right?
Yep, that is correct.
And what was your experience like at your first Sage?
It was great, but also a bit stressful, if I'm honest. Like, I had to record my trailer footage, which wasn't that bad, though since I was using a Chromebook at the time, the quality was just very slow and shit quality. Though, I literally uploaded my game, right, while I was at school, so I didn't have time to patch it until, like, 2 days into Sage.
I remember that, actually. I remember you having to patch your game, and I was like, okay, well, it's cool, because, I usually don't get to playing the fan games until a bit later in the week. I always start with the indie games first. So I do remember that. But also I remember, one of the things I remember about, your time there was that how well you mixed with the other Sage devs. One of the things I really love about the Sage devs, they tend to be very welcoming people. Like, it's a very, very friendly community. No, but that's just me looking. That's just me looking from the outside in. What was your experience like in regards to that?
They were very welcoming. Like, they thought what I was doing was a great idea. In fact, funnily enough, like, the same day I joined, one of them started getting ads for, like, the revival of Beavis and Butt-Head, which was kind of funny.
Now, what do you have planned for Sage 24?
Well, still gonna make a demo like usual, but, and it's a very big but, I plan and I intend to make improvements and adjustments compared to what was featured in last year's demo.
Is there anything specific you could talk about?
I could list about 4 to 5 things, if I'm being honest. So there's the player's movement, which I have definitely increased. I also added an additional weapon for Beavis and Butt-Head respectively, where Beavis can throw a stick of dynamite, while Butt-Head can have like a BB pistol, which is good for long range. As for level-wise, I intend to release 2 new levels, one of which is Hard Hat Hijinks, and in another one, I still haven't fully decided a name for yet, but the location for it is a skate park. And there's also, the boss fight against Todd outside the Maximart has gotten better background with, like, unique individual assets for, like, the Maximart, trees, a brick wall, the road. That's all been sorted out. And the actual boss fight itself has gained 2 noticeable improvements. Starters, Todd can throw a wrench, which will deal damage to the player, meaning you can't just stay at the side of the screen and constantly spam the fire button. And when he's halfway done with his health, he goes off the screen for a second and comes back driving his car through the screen, which you have to jump over.
Oh. Ooh, so I saw one of those improvements in one of the latest updates you released. So the one where how he'll throw things, so you can't stand in the corner and spam your attack anymore. I
Yeah.
did appreciate that. I have not seen the car one yet though, so that's gonna be pretty cool to check out.
Yeah, though there is a slight glitch to it where if you stay in front of the car and it goes off screen, you get dragged through the wall too, so you just end up having to restart.
And the last question I really want to ask you here. So let's say there's a dev out there thinking of attending Sage, but are unsure. Is there any advice you could give them?
Just do what you do best, and hey, if you muck up at like now and then, that's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. Sure, there might be people who leave your project for other ones, or just are not really nice people, because believe me, I have seen my fair share of that already. And there was, I do know that sometimes things might not turn out the way you want to, and people might not want to join your project, but hey, as long as you keep doing what you do best, then I'm sure everything will be okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. And honestly, I haven't really seen too much negativity at any Sage event. I mean, of course, you see things here and there, and that's to be expected anytime you do something online. That's to be expected. You can post the most positive thing ever, or maybe the most neutral thing ever, and you're going to get some occasional negativity. But, overall, I would say Sage is a very positive place. It's not a competition. And it's just a place where people can come together and share their passions, both the fans, the creators, and more. So if you're a dev, an indie game dev, a fan game dev, listen to this. Please, the next Stage event, try to submit your project there. You probably will not be disappointed.
Is it alright if I shout out a project I'm being involved in, if that's okay?
Oh, absolutely, fam, absolutely.
Well, so I'd like to shout out Sonic Battle Unlimited, which is a Sonic project I'm being involved in, where it's trying to be Sonic Battle, right, but in 3D.
I recently just heard about that game yesterday in the Discord server for Sage.
Yeah, I'm being involved with that, with making stages. Well, the modeling part, because I am not good with textures.
Hey, I do love stage.
And since I'm helping them make stages, they're in turn going to help me with quest to score as well, for like assets or that sort of stuff.
I think that's pretty cool, man. I think it's pretty so it's kind of like a you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of situation.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. It can help to make things work a bit faster and such. Because exactly. When it comes to gaming, man, there's a lot of work that goes into gaming. Now, I'm not a full-fledged dev, but I have dabbled into some game development myself. I worked on some visual novels and such, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. A lot that takes it takes a lot to get a game from the programming phase to a player's hands.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to know something that might surprise you with last year's demo for me?
And what's that?
I coded it, and it has been playable on a Chromebook from 2017.
Is it able to run natively, or do you need like a compatibility layer to run it on Chromebook?
If I make a Linux version, then yeah, it can be run natively.
Bro, that is bad. Actually, when I play Quest to Score, I play it on my Ubuntu, so... But I don't really have any experience with Chromebook.
I did test it with a compatibility layer as well, and yeah, that did work as well.
So yeah, absolutely badass, bro. So not only is it a damn good game, but it's also Linux friendly. So if you're a Linux user out there, be sure to check out Beavis and Butt-Head in Quest to Score.
I also plan on including a PDF manual as well, because why not?
I'll just say this, and I'll just say this before we go. I was really surprised not only to see that there was a Beavis and Butt-Head fan game at Sage, but the dev was from New Zealand, and also somebody your age, because I never realized that Beavis and Butt-Head had its reach like that. Always I always figured it was just like an American show, like maybe people my age was into and stuff. But maybe some older people were into it as well, but maybe not so, and maybe not too many younger people. But things are changing, man. Things are really, really changing. Especially.
Mate, let me tell you this. So both this year and last year, I presented a demo of Quest to Score at a school event, and there were adults, like grown adults, who were there, who knew what Beavis and Butt-Head was. In fact, I remember one of my teachers in my first year of high school did a Butthead impression for me.
Man, when I was in school, that never would have happened. Man, Beavis and Butthead was so controversial when I was in school. Well, honestly, man, I come from a time when The Simpsons was very controversial, man. To be honest with you. So that just kind of tells you how old I am, right?
Mate, you're not that old. You sound like you're still in your early 20s.
But man, before we go, do you have any questions for me or anything else you'd like to tell the audience?
No, I'm good.
Thank you so much, Quest, for joining us today. All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls, thank you so much for joining us as well. If you really like my channel and would like to support my content, please consider donating to my Ko-fi. For the time being, anything I receive via Ko-fi will go towards helping me to build my dream PC or buying a better PC. Also, special thanks to Fran, who does a wonderful job doing my art. A special thanks to all of my friends on Twitter. I wouldn't be here without you all. And most importantly, a special thanks to all of you for watching. Please like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. But if you want to be really cool about disliking my video, please leave me a comment below and tell me why you dislike it so that I may improve and be a better Big Mike. And also, if you like my content, please subscribe and turn your notifications on. Until next time, fam, remember, just be yourself and you'll be awesome. Peace out.